What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again. And this is where we at now. So I have one from Lapeef, network or stuff like that. Says men says that women are lazy and the most ungrateful in history. Listen, look, modern women. It's crazy, but it's true. Crazy, but it's true. So we're gonna go here now. We're gonna see what they have to say. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
But Ali, ask her a question. Just ask her a question. Ask her this, because I like to get straight to it, right? So just ask Ray, what is her perfect man? Just ask her what that is.
Not the perfect man.
Give us the time.
No, Ray. No. Hold on. Ray, just tell us what is your perfect. What man would you marry, or would you have time for?
Yeah, that's a loaded fucking question. That's a loaded question, Mr. Straight like that. Hold on. I'm gonna move from it, and I'm gonna let y'all have it. Do you have an answer for that question? No.
All right, thank you.
Wow. Ask, hey, what's your perfect idea of a perfect woman? Straight like that.
A woman that submits to me.
Jesus, it's crazy. Hey, great job, brother.
One of the things I wish we would consider in this conversation, though, is that there is a deep cultural issue, and we don't look at the support system. We don't look within our support system. A lot of us you get married, and there's so much temptation around us that it almost feels like, right, what I have observed is there's very little support for married people. A lot of women in relationships complain about being not emotionally connected to their husbands. I don't know if it's worth, should we really encourage people who are individualistic, short-term thinking, selfish most of the time, to enter into such a union without without actually examining, are we getting married just to get married, or are we getting married for an actual purpose?
I mean, marriage itself is supposed to be a purpose-driven situation. And not only first of all, one of the major purposes of marriage and building families and unions and having legacy and stuff is called survival. Humans have survived on this planet for God knows, for eons with this concept here. Now, up until today, it seems like, humans that are not, we've come to, I don't know, I guess technology got thrown into the mix somehow, some way. Well, not somehow, some way, but with technology thrown into the mix, it's like everybody has this, individual thought process now, and there's no community. But the thing of this is we got to this point because of community.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
I mean, without community and having stable societies and stable communities, people wouldn't have had time to think and come up with all these ways of building and making things and building buildings and inventing cars and all this. I mean, community and marriage goes hand in hand. You can't have a community without having marriage and stable households. That's all right.
What did you just see happen? Do brothers come on here and express how much they love women, support women, want to build with women, and the women will choose themselves? You just deviate and you just tuck away from what just happened just then. Hold on real quick. You said it's not a coach, it's not a we thing. Black men still love their women. Black men still want to build with their women. Black men still cherish their women. They are suckers by nature. Hold on. Our women weaponize it against us because they go, hey, if I can't get you to do it, I'm going to get another one to do it. I'm just going to press the replay button when I get another man, and I can restart my femininity with another one because he don't know who I am. And I could just say it was this guy. This dude did me this way. He was a liar. He was a cheater. Y'all keep overlooking the actual leaders and righteous brothers for the cheaters and the liars and the abusers. Like, you like those guys. You like being with those guys because you don't have to be a woman for those guys. And
Yo,
what the French toast is there to think about?
Yo, at least need to stop cooking so much out here. You need to stop cooking so much. But this is just the truth out here now. This is the way. This is where we at with the mindset, regardless of how anybody feel or think about it and stuff like that. This is what's going on. They're out here dealing with the type of men with those types of mindsets and stuff like that, which is a small percentage of men. The reason why, we see the child birth rate factors of so many women, but having babies, but it's so many men that are not having babies. They're only dealing with a small percentage of men. And that mindset is what's traveling around definitely in our community and stuff like that. And this is what's going on here. So now, what Ali was saying was definitely the truth. He laying down the facts. And this is the problem here that we're talking about. You only dealing with a certain type of man because at the end of the day, two things, and it's more than that, but it's the two things basically. You know what I'm saying? Most women get the tingles from the bad boys and the way that they carry themselves and things like that. And also too, the other guy that's the simp or however you want to put it, they can get complete control out here. Complete control. At least for the moment. I'm not saying that most women don't want a man that they could truly run over, but they will deal with that dude for a certain period of time if they have something that they need to gain or some resources that they need to gather and things like that. They will deal with that type of guy for a certain period of time, just like they will with the thug. They'll deal with that man for a certain period of time to get whatever jollies or whatever they need to get off him. So it's vice versa with them two type of men. They will deal with those men, but only for a certain period of time. And then after the fact, they want to come to the table and deal with the man that's in the middle.
It's demonstrated on here every single time. So it's easy to deal with someone that your mama dealt with to just go, you know what? He just like my daddy, just like what my mama said. I don't have to be a better woman. I could just do what my mama said and keep blaming men instead of working on myself and be a better woman and be a marriageable woman instead of keep blaming men and the men who hurt you instead of being with the men who help you.
I'm telling you, I don't disagree. Modern women, it is not easy being a wife. It is a deep, like the mentality shift that you have to be.
You been a wife before?
No.
How do you know it's not easy then?
I've been engaged.
Have you been a wife though?
No.
Hold on. I got her right here.
You old fish-eyed fool.
So how can you sit there and say something's difficult that you've never done before? So hold on here. So so I've never been a welder before, but I'm gonna sit there and say how hard being a welder is, or I'm gonna try to tell somebody how hard being a welder is and things like. I've never been a welder before. I've never got out and welded anything. I've never been on a oil rig to weld it, nothing. But I'm a scream to high heaven and tell other men like that's a crazy job. You don't want to do that. That's super hard. And it's like, well, have you ever done the job before? No.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
How do you know it's not easy to be a wife?
Well, let her finish
Because
talking. I want to hear the rest of it.
Look, y'all.
I want to hear
No,
her thoughts.
but Shayna,
let Ali.
y'all demonstrate. If she asked me if I was married, right? Y'all wanted to see if I had credibility. Y'all would have been like, "Oh, why you talking?" Y'all don't hold her account. If she's saying that, then it should take you. It should take the other sister. And go, hey, ma'am, why? How you speaking on marriage and you're not even married? Just like Lola.
Well, we didn't have an opportunity. Y'all I wanted to hear the rest of her thoughts, and then we will.
What's the one to hear the rest of the thoughts? She clearly said that being married as a woman is hard. And then at the same time, though, too, the question was asked, you know what I'm saying? Well, have you ever been a wife? She said, no, I've been engaged. That's not a wife out here. That's not a wife. What are you talking about? How would you know? Being a wife means that you've actually done and engaged in this type of activity for years upon years at a time. At least a good 5 to 10 years. You being a wife, you would definitely know what it means to be a wife if you've been in a marriage for 5 to 10 years. You should know. Come on, man. You want to hear the rest of her thoughts about the situation when she's never engaged in that type of activity. I don't want to hear from a plumber about health issues. What? I'm gonna go to a doctor. What are you talking about?
All right.
The reason I know it's difficult
Let me see.
is because me and all the women on this panel have grown up with the message of your happiness matters. Become the best version of yourself. Go get an education. Just in case we are conditioned to really prioritize us. To be a wife
like that.
Oh, no,
I think to be a
okay.
wife, I think it takes a completely different mental shift.
Let me explain what I think I can explain exactly what she means. She's saying it's hard to be a wife because they were trained so long to not be a wife. So it's hard for them to transition into being a wife because they were trained to not be one.
And you don't need to, yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay, what are the outcomes?
Let me just say this.
In order to have a successful marriage as a wife, a lot of women have a lot of fear and of submission. And I think there's this deep fear that they're going to be, quote unquote slaves, and that man isn't going to be her partner or whatever. And
see, that's the point, right? That's the point. He ain't your partner. He's not your partner. He's not your partner. It's no way around this. He's not your partner. You're not his partner. You're his helpmeet. He's there to protect and provide. And see, this is the you know what I'm saying, and like with the brother in the brother SM right here just said, I get what he's saying. Yes, it's also due to society's training and stuff like that recondition the mindset. But at the same time, though, too, biology is telling these women something different. That's the reason why they have so many of these mental health issues, because they're struggling with biology and what society's programming them with. And that's the huge problem. And that's the reason why we get these women with these attitudes. A lot of times they be seriously frustrated, thinking that they get overworked with these jobs and stuff like that, because society's telling them one thing, but their biological system as a human woman is telling them something different deep down inside. And it's like, what did I do? Do I listen to myself, my nature, or do I listen to society and move this way? And that's causing a huge issue. That's what's really going on. It's the internal fight in women's biology and what's being, programmed with them in society. It's a huge fight within them.
We have to realize that mental shift to get out of the current like cultural narrative, and then to enter a marriage, and you have to 180% put your husband family first before all of that. Is not easy for a whole generation.
Is it hard for you to get a job?
A husband is not like a job.
I'm just asking a simple question. Is it hard for you to get a job and keep a job?
I think depending, moderately difficult.
What? It's hard for you.
It can be moderately challenging.
Is it hard for you to get a job and keep a job?
No.
Okay.
So why is it not? Go ahead, Shan. Since you want to go ahead. You go ahead.
But why are you asking me that?
What?
Why would you ask me that?
It's the same concept.
How?
Because you make it evident that women don't.
Because you're
hard. Bruiser. It's not hard to be a husband. It's not hard to be a father. It's not hard to see my son every single day and doing all the things that I do for him, or my woman every single day.
Let me try to
hold on, Bruiser, real quick. No, y'all complain. You want to take a break from being a wife. You want to take a break from being a mother. You want to take a break from work. You want to take a break from sex. You want to take a break from the gym. You want to take a break from cooking. This is the most laziest, non-grateful, and non-appreciative women ever in history.
So what's the French toast is there to think about?
Hey, I don't know what there is to think about anymore, because you know what I'm saying, obviously we clearly see this is going on out here, and definitely with the the rates of where, you know, children are reading at a very low level, you know, definitely in these single homes and stuff like that. It's crazy out here. We see what's going on. We constantly see it every day, but nobody actually wants to put forth the effort to be truthful about the facts of what's going on versus what we need to actually be doing. And we need to get the families back so the children can be in stable homes and actually, you know, get the reading skills up and the levels up and stuff like that. We got plenty of Einsteins and great rocket scientists and all that type of stuff in the Black community, because we know how to do things as Black people inherently. It's just in us. But we don't have the communities to cultivate the children in order for them to have the safety enough to be these adventurous minded children, to where they can learn certain things and feel comfortable enough and safe enough to where they can go to school, learn what they need to learn, and, you know, invent and create and do all the other things that, you know, other children do. Let's just go here now. This is crazy.
Like y'all, it's like you can't stand doing for a man. But like Rusa said, you'll go to work, you'll go get your degree, you'll hey sergeant, you'll listen to your sergeant, you'll love your pastor, but you love your cat and dog too. You clean up behind them and your kids. But if you have to love and respect and appreciate a man, it's hell. You turn into a maid and a slave when you do that.
Ali, we're not disagreeing. The reason why women are doing these things is because the expectation of a husband to rely on is not there. That is why they prioritize work, the kid, the dog, the whatever. Everything
they don't have enough money.
That's not true.
They're preparing for a world where
that's not true.
Yes, it is true.
No, what's a sucker? What's a simp? What's a panderer? We'll ask y'all, do you want a man like that? Nope. I don't want a man that'll do anything I want him to do. Okay. How about the man that tells you what to do? Nope. I don't want that either. Whichever way y'all go, you weaponize it against yourself. You don't want the man that puts his foot down. They want the rich man. And you don't want the man that does anything you want him to do. We know this now, and we've done this too many times. Y'all don't like the simp and the sucker, and you don't like the righteous man and the man who puts his foot down. You don't like neither one of them.
I personally do. I do like the man.
I think all women do respect.
You old fish-eyed fool.
What in the world is she talking
I don't know
about?
whether you notice or not, but you only have your fucking casino because I made that possible. I'm what counts out here, not your fucking country clubs or your fucking TV shows.
Is she crazy? Hey, listen, look, hold on. Prime example right here, fellas. Prime example, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, look, I personally do want the man that do anything I tell him to do. What? Now we know what type of mental time she's on to actually want a man that's going to actually act that way with her. Now, like I said earlier, yeah, she will deal with that man for a certain period of time, but she will be sneaking behind that man's back, dealing with the man that ain't gonna do shit she tell him to do.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Now she's smart. She's smart now. And I'm gonna tell you why she's smart. She's smart because yes, she'll deal with the man that do all that stuff like that. Because 9 times out of 10, she ain't stupid. 9 times out of 10, that dude probably got decent resources and stuff like that. Because he done kept his head down. He ain't really slick to the game. You know what I'm saying? But she gonna go outside the house and get her rocks off with the dude that's feeding her the real raw shit and goddamn it not, caving in to her whim and demands. I'm telling you now, that's how it's gonna go. She'll deal with the dude, you know what I'm saying, that she could boss around a little bit.
That, but again, it's the cultural.
No, you don't.
Like I said, I think it's a cultural.
Yes, I do.
How about we focus specifically on what she's saying to try to help her understand? You said there's certain things that you need to rely on that a man's supposed to show so you can be compelled to get in a relationship and stay in a relationship with him. Is that true?
That's true. Yes, I would say.
So what are those things?
Right now, because I have a cousin that live out here. She's married. She's older. She's 65. She's her husband's second wife. She don't have any children. And we was having a conversation.
that was not the question.
No, I'm just telling you. We just have
Okay,
a
go
conversation.
ahead.
And at this point, low key, I need to be able. I'm looking at home ownership. Home ownership. Like we was talking about the wealth conversation earlier. Why everybody shaking their head now? I thought that's
you want to know why I'm shaking my head right now?
What's wrong with home ownership? And we were just
No.
That ain't got nothing to do with with the question. That's why everybody's shaking their head.
Girl, it's a lot of work.
No, listen. You know why I shook
You know,
my
we were
head?
just name all that stuff we got to do.
Hold on, wait. Listen. You want to know why I shook my head on that?
because you gotta own the home to be able to do that stuff inside
It's
the home.
because you can do that shit. All becomes a whole lot easier when you partner with somebody and you get married to somebody.
Yeah.
All of that shit becomes a whole lot easier when you, a woman, get with a man. Y'all put y'all resources together, and now y'all have the ability to actually buy the home. But if you do shit separately, everything becomes infinitely harder for y'all. So when you say, man, home ownership is so important for what I need a man for, it's like, damn, if you would have got the man earlier, you would have a home today.
But I'd rather.
Let me say something.
They're not.
What about my new man already on the home and he just?
But why? Why? That goes back. Okay, a wife.
What's wrong with that? That's what the others do. Y'all were just talking about how the others keep divorcing and get the new one and keep obtaining. But when I talk about it, people shake their head.
Well, what happened whenever
you said a man in your priority right now? You said a man in your priority.
I said home ownership. I'm very.
Okay, what happened? What happened when you met that man that had the home ownership? What happened?
We might be onto something.
If
no, I'm saying, have you met him?
Miss E, why you laughing? What's up? He's single.
She's married, right?
He might be widow and a homeowner. What's up?
Mrs. E is married.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I thought you were talking about Ray.
He might be widow and a homeowner. What's wrong with that?
Husband.
He might be widowed and a homeowner. Baby, what is she doing trying to chase widowers and shit? What?
What the French toast is there to think about?
Oh my goodness, man. I mean, you know, she a decent looking chick. Why is you worried about a dude that lost his wife already? Where's your dude that you could start building with? You and him both get together and build first. Shit, she trying to chase widowers. Oh man, okay. Y'all men out there that your wife done passed away, man. Y'all might need to watch out. Jesus Christ, this is crazy, man.
I did ask a legit question that I think was critical to the claim. There's the things you needed to rely on in a man are not there. And I was asking for clarity on what those things were. I mean, it wasn't necessarily with your statement, Doc. It was actually Ashanti Warrior who made the claim. I'm just trying to better understand you without just beating up on you with what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I'm just trying to really understand. Like, what do you need to rely on that's not there?
Brother, why are you talking to a lady that can't describe her husband? Like, this is a waste. She said she doesn't even know. Oh, sorry, he was talking to you, Ashanti?
Oh, I think he just redirected it to me.
Oh, okay, go ahead. My bad. I thought he was talking about Ray. Yeah, like she don't even, I thought he was talking to Ray. Sorry.
He know I don't care. He ain't talking to me.
Y'all are hilarious.
So Ray can't identify her husband, so she can't tell us, or even she is not qualified.
He don't have a type. He said, I don't know what that perfect guy is.
I said home owner.
Nick, a home owner, that's
so all the requirements you need from a man is just to be a homeowner. Oh Lord. And then after that, it's like the complaints come out where he's not this and that, because you didn't vet for that part. You just wanted to vet for him to own a home. That's all you said he had to have. Man. And then people are wondering why men are walking away from women, just women, period. Like, are just sitting down and watching this this situation unfold with women in the 21st century and sitting around eating popcorn, talk about, yeah, she's stupid. It's crazy out here. crazy out here.
Oh my God. A homeowner is anybody.
No, it ain't. Where you live? Where
Yes,
you
it
live?
is.
Where you live?
Listen, that's
No. What
Wait,
city do you live in?
What
What city do you live in, sir? What city do you live in, sir?
I'm not gonna give out my city, crazy lady. I ain't gonna do that.
So it's a secret, or do you live in America? You ain't
No,
even. You ain't even.
Listen. The conversation is not where I live. We asked you, what is your perfect
anybody
guy?
can have a home. That's not true.
No. But we asked you, what's your perfect guy? You say you don't know. So therefore, nobody can be talking to you about no husband. You don't know what that guy is. It could be anybody.
Yeah, but
I do know what
the
it is.
husband
He don't gotta be perfect. I said
Yeah, why
home. Are
does he
you
gotta
not
be
listening?
perfect? Why
He ain't gotta be perfect. I said homeowner. Are you not listening? Stop it.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Okay. All right. This is where we at right here. And you know what I'm saying? We clearly see the mindset of a lot of modern women nowadays. Not all, but the thing of this is yes, it's the ungrateful situation and things like that. It's the, what the young lady in the gray up there said, it's the happening to recondition yourself. And I get that too. Y'all, society and things like that, feminist movement, whatever you want to call it, has rearranged the women's minds in today's society. And like I told you before, they're dealing with the society's programming and also dealing with their natural biologic situation, which aka their souls. And they're dealing with that struggle, that internal struggle. That's the reason why we have a lot of women that can't make up their mind anymore. They don't know how to actually pick a struggle and deal with it and try to make the best of everything and try to make the best of whatever situation they get in and try to buckle down and do the right thing and stuff like that. That's the reason why they be all over the place like that. Or they got to keep going back to college, or they got to do this and that, or they got to try this, they got to do that, they got to they got to do this all the time. And just their minds are all over the place in today's society, and it's a damn shame. And this is the reason why communities are no longer engaged or just there. And this is where we at here. It's sad to see, but this is the truth. The most ungrateful women that have ever lived on this planet, 21st century. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.